Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we kind of help you navigate the ever-changing world of tech.
Right.
Today, we're diving headfirst into the fascinating world of AI
Okay.
and how startups are riding the wave to success.
Cool.
Before you think, oh no, not another AI discussion,
Right.
trust me, this isn't just about algorithms and robots.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how this technology is transforming everything around us, from healthcare to manufacturing, and yes, even podcasting.
Right.
Speaking of podcasting, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Digital Podcast on YouTube
Oh, yeah.
for even more in-depth discussions on AI and all things tech.
Good stuff.
We break down complex topics into bite-sized pieces so you can stay ahead of the curve.
Nice.
Plus, got to stay relevant before the robots take over completely.
True.
Now, for our deep dive today, we're going to dissect 3 insightful articles.
Okay.
The first is a Forbes piece profiling 25 startups poised to become billion-dollar companies, all thanks to their clever use of AI. Then we've got a guide from Flat 6 Labs offering practical advice for startups looking to integrate AI into their operations.
Cool.
And finally, we'll dig into some data from Cruise Consulting that analyzes AI adoption trends by examining spending from over 1,000 venture-backed companies.
Sounds good.
To help us unpack all this, I've got our expert here who can connect the dots and reveal the so what behind the buzzwords.
It's great to be here.
So,
I think what's really exciting about this topic is that we're moving beyond the hype of AI and seeing real-world applications that are driving tangible business results.
okay, let's jump right in with that Forbes article about the 25 startups on the fast track to unicorn status.
Okay.
What struck me is the sheer diversity of industries represented.
Yeah.
It seems like AI is infiltrating every nook and cranny of the business world.
That's right. We're seeing AI used in everything from construction to therapy.
Really?
Which really highlights its versatility and potential.
Wow.
Take Hadrian, for example. They're using AI-powered robots to build factories that can manufacture aerospace parts 10 times faster than traditional methods.
Wow.
We're not just talking about incremental improvements here. This is a complete paradigm shift.
That's incredible. 10 times faster. Talk about a game changer.
Yeah.
And then you have Equip, which is using AI to provide virtual family therapy for eating disorders. It's amazing to see how AI is being used to tackle complex social and healthcare challenges.
Exactly. And these are just 2 examples from a list of 25.
Right.
The key takeaway here is that AI is not just a shiny new toy.
Yeah.
It's a powerful tool that can be applied to a wide range of problems to create real value.
So it seems like AI is living up to the hype, at least in the startup world.
Yeah.
But how can other startups, maybe those not aiming to be unicorns, actually integrate AI into their operations?
Right.
That's where the Flat 6 Labs article comes in, right?
Yes, it does.
It offers some practical guidance on how to get started.
The article emphasizes that AI integration doesn't necessarily require a team of data scientists or a massive budget. It's about identifying areas where AI can make a real difference and then finding the right tools and resources to implement it.
So it's about working smarter, not necessarily harder, by leveraging AI.
Yes.
That makes sense. Speaking of working smarter, are you using any AI tools to help you with your work? I'm always looking for ways to optimize my workflow.
Sure.
Maybe I should check out the Digital Podcast on YouTube for some tips.
Yeah.
They always seem to be on top of the latest tech trends.
Well, as much as I'd love to say I'm relying on AI to do all my work, the truth is AI is still a tool that needs human guidance.
Okay.
It's about finding the right balance between human expertise and AI capabilities.
I guess even AI experts need to roll up their sleeves sometimes.
Absolutely. But back to the Flat 6 Labs article.
Okay.
One of the key areas it highlights is automation.
Okay.
This is where AI can really shine, especially for startups with limited resources.
Right.
Think about tasks like customer support data entry or social media management.
Yeah.
These are all tasks that can be partially or fully automated using AI.
Wow.
Freeing up human employees to focus on more strategic and creative work.
That sounds like a dream come true for any startup founder struggling to wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why waste valuable human brain power on repetitive tasks when AI can handle them.
Exactly. It's about optimizing resources and maximizing efficiency.
Yeah.
The article also delves into other areas like content generation and data analysis where AI can play a significant role.
Right.
But we can explore those in more detail later.
Sounds good. Before we move on, though, I want to circle back to something you said earlier about startups not needing a massive budget to integrate AI.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important point because it makes AI accessible to a wider range of businesses.
Absolutely. One of the most exciting developments in the AI space is the emergence of affordable and user-friendly tools.
Right?
We're seeing a democratization of AI, which is opening up a world of possibilities for startups of all sizes.
That's encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
It means that even small startups can compete on a level playing field with larger companies when it comes to leveraging AI. But with all this talk about AI taking over jobs, it's hard not to wonder about the potential downsides.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that?
That's a valid concern, and it's something we need to be mindful of.
Okay.
However, I believe that AI will ultimately create more jobs than it displaces.
Really?
It's just that the nature of work will change. We'll need people who can work alongside AI, who can understand its capabilities and limitations, and who can adapt to the evolving demands of the workplace.
So it's not about humans versus robots. It's about humans and robots working together.
Exactly. The key is to embrace the opportunities that AI presents, while also addressing the challenges thoughtfully and proactively.
It sounds like a balancing act, finding the right way to integrate AI without losing sight of the human element.
It is, and it's a conversation that we need to have on a global scale. Speaking of global conversations, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the U.S. government's efforts to regulate AI.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like every day there's a new headline about AI laws and ethical considerations.
The government is definitely trying to catch up with a rapid pace of AI development.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that they're taking it seriously, but it's also a bit like trying to herd cats.
Sure.
AI is evolving so quickly that it's hard to keep up with the regulations.
I agree. It's a complex issue.
Yeah.
And there are no easy answers. We need to find a way to foster innovation while also ensuring that AI is used responsibly and ethically.
Right.
But maybe we can delve into that a little later.
Definitely. I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear more about that. And speaking of our listeners, if you want to stay ahead of the curve in the world of AI and tech, you know what to do. Subscribe to the Digital Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
They cover everything from the latest AI breakthroughs to the ethical implications of this technology. It's a must-listen for anyone who wants to understand the future that's unfolding before our very eyes.
I second that the Digital Podcast is a fantastic resource for anyone interested in AI.
Yeah.
They do a great job of breaking down complex topics in a clear and engaging way.
Okay, let's shift gears and dive into that Cruise Consulting article.
Sounds good.
It's packed with data on AI adoption trends and spending patterns, which should give us a clearer picture of how the AI market is evolving. Are you ready to crunch some numbers?
Absolutely. Let's see what these numbers reveal about the state of AI adoption.
Okay.
Sounds good. The Cruise article highlights that while AI adoption is high among startups, the growth rate is slowing down.
Oh.
This suggests that we might be approaching a point of market saturation.
That makes sense.
The early adopters have already jumped on the bandwagon,
Right.
and now the market is maturing.
That makes sense. It's like any new technology.
Yeah.
There's an initial surge of excitement and adoption, but then things level off as the market becomes more established.
Exactly.
So what does this mean for startups who are just starting to explore AI now?
Right.
Are they already too late to the game?
Not at all. In fact,
Yeah.
I think this market maturation is actually a good thing for startups.
Yep.
It means that the tools and resources are becoming more readily available,
Right.
and the cost of entry is decreasing.
So it's becoming more accessible for startups who might not have had the budget or expertise to implement AI before.
Exactly. And as the market matures, we're also seeing a shift from general purpose AI tools to more specialized solutions.
That's interesting. You mentioned specialization earlier, but I'm curious to hear more about what that looks like in practice.
Sure.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Instead of relying on one-size-fits-all AI platforms, startups are now seeking out tools that are specifically designed for their industry or their particular business needs.
Okay.
For example, a healthcare startup might use an AI-powered platform for medical image analysis, while a fintech startup might leverage AI for fraud detection.
So it's about finding the right tool for the job, just like with any other technology.
Precisely. And this trend towards specialization is likely to continue as the AI market evolves.
Okay.
We'll see more and more niche AI tools emerge, catering to the specific needs of different industries and business functions.
Okay, so we've got market saturation and specialization.
Yeah.
What other trends are you seeing in the AI space?
Right.
The Cruise article also dives into the competitive landscape, right?
Yes, it does. The data shows that OpenAI is still the dominant player in the market.
Right.
But Anthropic is quickly gaining ground, especially after the release of their new models.
I've heard a lot of buzz about Anthropic lately. What makes them such a strong competitor to OpenAI?
Well, Anthropic has a strong focus on safety and alignment,
Okay.
which means they're developing AI systems that are more reliable, predictable, and aligned with human values.
So it's not just about building the most powerful AI, it's about building AI that is safe and beneficial for humanity.
Exactly. And this focus on safety and alignment is resonating with many businesses and investors,
Yeah,
which is why Anthropic is attracting so much attention.
makes sense.
The cruise data also shows that many startups are using multiple AI tools from different providers, which suggests that they're not just blindly following the market leader.
So they're shopping around and building their own AI toolkit based on their specific needs.
Yes, they're not limiting themselves to a single provider or a single model. They're experimenting, exploring different options, and finding what works best for them.
That's a smart approach.
Yeah,
It makes sense to diversify your AI portfolio just like you would with any other investment.
absolutely. And it also highlights the fact that the AI landscape is becoming increasingly complex and competitive.
Yeah.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and startups need to be strategic about how they integrate AI into their operations.
This is all incredibly fascinating, but I can't help but wonder about the bigger picture. What does this all mean for the future of work?
Right.
Are we all going to be replaced by robots? Should we be worried?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I think the answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. AI will undoubtedly automate many tasks that are currently done by humans, but it will also create new opportunities and new types of jobs.
So it's not about robots taking over, but rather about humans and robots working together, each leveraging their strengths.
Exactly. The key is to be adaptable, to embrace lifelong learning,
Right.
and to develop the skills that will be in high demand in the future. And this is where the Flat Six Labs article offers some valuable insights.
You're right. We got so caught up in the data and the competitive landscape that we almost forgot about the practical advice for startups.
Yeah.
What does the article say about the skills that will be essential in the AI era?
The article emphasizes the importance of soft skills like creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving, alongside technical skills. It also highlights the need for adaptability, a growth mindset, and a willingness to embrace new technologies. These are qualities that will be valuable in any industry, not just in tech.
So it's not just about learning to code, it's about developing a set of skills that will allow us to thrive in a rapidly changing world.
Precisely. And this is where initiatives like the digital podcast on YouTube can play a crucial role.
You're right, the digital podcast does a great job of breaking down complex tech topics and making them accessible to a wider audience. It's a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. In fact, I'd recommend it to anyone who's even remotely curious about AI, even if they're not in the tech industry.
I agree, understanding AI is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. So let's get back to the Flat Six Labs article. Aside from skills, what other advice does it offer for startups looking to integrate AI?
The article provides a step-by-step guide to AI integration, starting with identifying the right use cases for your business.
Okay, so it's not about blindly implementing AI everywhere. It's about being strategic and focusing on areas where it can make a real impact.
Exactly. The article then goes on to discuss how to choose the right AI tools and platforms, how to build a data strategy, and how to manage the implementation process.
It sounds like a comprehensive guide. I'm sure our listeners would find it helpful. Where can they find the article?
It's available on the Flat Six Labs website, and if you're looking for even more insights and practical advice, I highly recommend checking out the digital podcast on YouTube.
Always a good plug. But seriously, the digital podcast is a fantastic resource. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the current state of the AI market, the trends that are shaping its future, and the practical implications for startups.
We've also touched on the ethical considerations, the role of government regulation, and the importance of human skills in the age of AI.
We've even managed to sneak in a few shameless plugs for the digital podcast.
Well, you can't blame us for trying to spread the word about such a valuable resource.
Fair enough. But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to that Forbes article about the 25 startups poised to become unicorns. We talked about Hadrian and Equip, but there's so many other fascinating examples on that list.
Yes, there are. Each one is a testament to the power of AI to disrupt industries and create new possibilities.
Let's dive into a few more of those examples and see what lessons we can learn from their success.
Sounds like a great plan.
Okay, so let's get back to those AI unicorns. I was particularly intrigued by a company called Viz.ai, which is using AI to analyze medical images and detect strokes faster.
Oh.
That sounds like it could be life-saving technology.
It absolutely is.
Wow.
Viz.ai's platform can analyze CT scans in seconds
Wow, that's fast.
and alert doctors to potential strokes much faster than traditional methods. This can make a huge difference in patient outcomes, as early intervention is crucial for stroke treatment.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing how AI can be applied to such critical situations. It makes you wonder, what are the limits of this technology?
I think the potential of AI is vast,
Yeah.
but it's important to remember that it's still a tool.
Right.
It's up to us as humans to guide its development and ensure that it's used for good.
You're right. We need to be mindful of the ethical implications and ensure that AI is developed and deployed responsibly. That's a theme that keeps coming up in our discussions today.
It's a crucial consideration as AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives.
Yeah.
We need to be vigilant about its potential impact on society.
Right.
We need to ask tough questions about bias, fairness, transparency, and accountability.
And those questions are not just for tech experts or policymakers. They're for all of us. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
Absolutely. We need to have open and honest conversations about the potential benefits and risks of AI. And we need to work together to find solutions that benefit humanity as a whole.
It's a call to action for everyone, really. Yeah. Speaking of calls to action, have you subscribed to the digital podcast on YouTube yet?
You know, I have. It's my go-to source for staying up to date on all things AI and tech.
They do a fantastic job of making complex topics accessible and engaging. It's like having a personal tutor for the digital age.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, let's wrap up this deep dive with some key takeaways for our listeners.
Sounds good.
So what have we learned today?
Well, we've seen that AI is no longer a futuristic concept. It's a present-day reality that's transforming industries and creating new opportunities.
Yeah.
We've explored the trends that are shaping the AI market, from the rise of specialization to the growing focus on safety and ethics.
Right.
And we've discussed the practical steps that startups can take to integrate AI into their operations.
We've also highlighted the importance of human skills, the need for responsible AI development, and the role that each of us can play in shaping the future of this technology.
And of course, we've emphasized the value of staying informed and engaged by subscribing to resources like the Digital Podcast on YouTube.
Couldn't resist one last plug, could you?
Never hurts to remind our listeners of where they can find more great content.
Fair enough. So to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has been insightful and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
We encourage you to continue exploring the world of AI and to join the conversation about its future.
Remember, the future of AI is not predetermined. It's something we're creating together.
That's a powerful thought to end on. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AI. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the curve.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Digital Podcast.